Welcome to another edition of Brookline Access TV. I'm Patrick Thomas, joined by Lucas Parolin. Here we are to bring you the Brookline Varsity Women's Basketball game. The Warriors are playing the Framingham Friars. Both teams are looking to get their first win in area play. Brookline looking to get their first win on the season. Lucas, we spoke to both coaches before the game. What did Coach Tony have to say?
Well, Coach Tony talked about how this team is a very young team, very inexperienced team, Patrick, and how Framingham was on the same boat that they were last year. So I think that tonight they're going to be looking to learn some lessons, really.
Also, we spoke to Coach Dee King of the Framingham Friars for the game, and she said look out for a couple players. She talked about Sophia Corbett and a couple others. What did she say that they were going to try to do to get this W?
Well, she said that they're very experienced players, they're really good players, they're real offensive players, and that they like to shoot the threes. So I'm really looking forward for that. I'm looking for them to shoot the three a lot, to pound it inside also because they do have a height advantage. And I'm looking for Leah tonight. Leah, the junior, the captain, really good player, averaging about 10.5 points per game. I'm looking forward for her. I think she's going to have a big game.
Thank you, Lucas. Well, folks, it'll certainly be an interesting game, and we'll see if Brookline can get their first win of the season and hopefully first win in area play. I'm Patrick Thomas, joined by Lucas Parolin. Stay tuned for more action.
Hard today when he does get the ball, and he's going to take it for over the court. Give me your point.
All right, folks, we're here at Schluntz Gym, just waiting tip-off. As we said earlier in the intro, we're waiting to see if Brookline can get their first win on the season in an area play, and Framingham's looking to get that first win in area play. Both coaches touched on a few different things they're looking for. Coach Tony is looking for somebody to step up, and as we heard Coach King say, she's looking to move in and around the perimeter and get some offense going. Lucas, what do you think is the big key for both teams?
Well, for Framingham, I think the key is to get the ball to their 4 stars. I'm going to say they have 4 stars, the 3 captains plus Sophia. And for the Warriors, I think the key is going to have to work the zone defense really well and hope that Framingham doesn't make some shots.
And tip-off has begun. Brookline gets the basket and 2 points to start the game.
Good start for Brookline there.
Framingham is trying to break the press, but Brookline is coming out. Now they're trying to set back in their zone. Framingham with the jump shot. No good. Rebounded by number 23 of the Brookline Warriors.
Patrick, that's another key for them. If they can get the rebounds and the missed shots, and they can get into their offense early, that's going to be huge for them.
That last rebound was Gianna Gray, and just on the shot, foul by number 12 of Framingham, Sophia Corbett. We touched on her earlier. She is averaging 8 points a game, and Coach King is looking for her to do some big things.
Well, I expect her to have the ball a lot. We haven't seen anything from her yet, but I mean it hasn't been even a minute of game, so give her some time, Patrick.
Good point, Lucas. Framingham comes up with the rebound. Bringing it up the floor is number 24, Leah Doty.
There's the girl of the hour. I'm expecting some big things from her tonight.
Just as Coach King said, they're going to try to break that zone. Shot no good by number 10, Emily Rich, the sophomore. Bringing it back up the floor is number 23, Gianna Gray. Brookline trying to get settled into their offense. Pass to number 33, Raven Brotworth. Brookline going to try to break down this tight man that Framingham plays. Shot up and good. Brookline extends the lead to 4-0. Lucas, it seems that Brookline's going to try to penetrate often and early and get a commanding lead here at home against Framingham.
Well, that's a good strategy for me. If Framingham gets into a row and starts making some shots, it's going to be good to have an early lead.
Brookline not backing off at all. Trying to see if Framingham can withstand their aggressive attacks to the basket. You know, before the game, we've already mentioned this a couple of times, Coach Tony said she's really looking to see a key player stand out. Gianna Gray with a shot, no good. And maybe this is the day. Framingham, bring it back up the floor.
So far, I've been really impressed with Gianna Gray. Taking a lot of touches on the ball, being really aggressive. I like her style so far.
On both ends of the court, she's had a rebound or two, and then also she scored the second basket of the game.
Absolutely, she's long. She knows how to play defense, and she doesn't back away from a challenging offense. I like a player like that.
You're exactly right, my friend. Brookline back with the basketball. Have the lead just under 6 minutes, 4-0. Gianna Gray back with it again. As you see, Brookline's trying to get a little momentum here, working the ball around. Framingham's going to stick with this tight man-to-man on their defense.
Coach Tony did say before the game that Framingham was really good at man-to-man defense. So I'm not surprised at all to see them playing this well this early.
And Brookline going back and back to the hole. That time it was number 22, Brianna Page, the junior guard.
Surprised there wasn't a shooting foul?
No, obviously they called that on the floor. I thought it was a shooting foul as well. Brookline looking to inbound the ball. Get it to Page. Page fouled that time with the shot.
Now that has to be a shooting foul, Patrick.
It most definitely was. You know, it's been interesting to see. We thought it might be Framingham that would be really, really attacking the goal on the offensive end, but so far it's been all Brookline.
Well, good news for Brookline fans.
Yes.
And also good news for this an experienced team. It's good to see young players not backing away from a challenge.
First shot is good. Page at the line, hoping to hit her second shot. And it's good, banks it in. The bank is open today. Framingham brings it up the floor. Down 6-0, looking to get something started. Brookline not backing off their press whatsoever. Whips it around. Framingham trying to break down this zone that Coach King mentioned earlier. And that's the way you do it right there. Number 22 of Framingham busts a three to get that zone. Mackenzie Camilli, the junior. And a steal. A steal by Doty. Doty to the hole. And good.
And there's the start we've been waiting for, Patrick.
And in just a matter of 10 to 15 seconds, Framingham is making their way back in the game. And Doty is looking to get the and one here at the free throw line.
Interesting to see, Patrick, that Mackenzie made that three-pointer.
She did.
It wasn't a player that we talked about earlier. So it just goes to show that Framingham has more weapons than we thought.
It does. Nice pass from Page. Shot up. Block called against number 20 of Framingham. Kelly Romano, a captain senior, that Coach Tony said that she had been looking at to have a big game from Framingham. But, you know, as you mentioned, though, we didn't know, we weren't necessarily looking for her before the game, but when you come out in zone, you have to work the ball around and find those opening guys. And sometimes people that aren't as heralded get extra shot opportunities because there are holes in the zone.
That's very true. I think they're going to be paying more attention to those captains and Leah. Well, Leah's also a captain, but they're going to be paying more attention to that. So absolutely, players like Mackenzie and Emily, the sophomore, are going to have open looks.
Nia Cawthorn hit one of those free throws, missed a second. Framingham back with the ball. Doty passes back into Camilli. She banks it in. That's two. Two for her in this young game. Framingham has the lead.
6 points in 3 minutes. That's not bad at all, Patrick.
Not bad at all. And Camilli's going to be called with a reach in, her first foul of the game. This will be the first time that Framingham takes the lead. 4:27 left in the first quarter.
Patrick, that's exactly what we're talking about. Brookline has to stay aggressive throughout the whole game because with a couple of shots, Framingham can take the lead again.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you have young, unexperienced players, there always has to be a confidence boost, some reminder in the game that they can stay with the other team. And as long as they keep attacking the basket like they did earlier, I think they can do that.
Somebody has to step up, Patrick. Somebody has to take the ball, say, I'm going to take over this game right now for us, and be that momentum booster.
Doty brings the ball up the floor, passes to her teammate, number 10, Emily Rich. Looking around in the corner, shot up by number 20. Kelly Romano just missed. Back up the floor is Paige. Paige takes it strong to the hole. Looked as if it could be a charge right there. Framingham Friars fans are booing. They aren't too happy with that call, but another trip to the free throw line for the Warriors.
They've only missed one free throw so far, correct, Patrick?
I think you might be right there.
Yep, that is going to be another key point in this game. If the refs are going to keep calling so many fouls, they got to make those free throws.
Well, when you attack the basket like they have, that is surely an opportunity that something like that can continue to happen.
I hope I didn't jinx Brookline there.
Paige missed the first shot, looking to redeem herself and make the second one. Just under 4 minutes. It's 9-7 here at Schluntz Gym. And Paige misses a golden opportunity, misses both free throws. Now, if they want to stay in this game, Lucas, they're going to have to keep hitting the free throws and can't avoid taking advantage of these free throw opportunities.
Well, in order for you to even take the free throws, you got to keep being aggressive. So I think it's more important for them to be aggressive and then later think about making the free throws.
Gamelli just missed. Now that is another block. It looked like as if Gamelli had position on that play. She picks up her second foul. Gianna Gray goes back to the line. And as we just mentioned, here's another opportunity. Brookline Warriors are back at the free throw line. A chance to notch it up right here at 9-9. Let's see if they can do it.
Coach King doesn't seem too happy about the call.
No, she's not at all. I mean, so far it's been kind of heavy against the Framingham Friars as far as fouls being called. But in all truthfulness, Brookline's been attacking the basket. And first shot hit by Gianna Gray. Puts it at 9-8. 3:27 left in the first quarter. 18 fouls so far against Framingham to only Brookline's 2.
Gianna Gray having a good game so far. She might be that catalyzer that we were looking for.
Yes. So she has 4 points already, if not more, on the day. Framingham looking to break this press. Brookline doing a good job of setting up the pressure. Whipping the ball around. Shot. No good.
Unfortunately for Brookline, they're doing the press well, but Framingham has been able to move the ball up the floor rather quickly.
Yeah, they have.
Luckily for Brookline, though, they have been missing the shots.
And an errant shot, not even sure that hit the rim. Brookline back with the ball. Paige brings it up the floor. Gianna Gray with the ball again, with the shot. Fouled. I'm not sure if she's going to say it was a shooting foul. No, it says she traveled, excuse me. I'm looking at inbound ball.
I'm curious to see whether Brookline will keep up this full court press throughout the whole game. It's a lot of running.
It is indeed, and it can tire your players out eventually and over time, but so far it's worked well for them.
Well, they are a young team full of energy. Maybe it pays out.
Number 20 for the Framingham Friars. Kelly Romano hits the line after being fouled by number 31, Lindsay Westlake, junior guard. Romano misses the first. 2:46 left in the first quarter. Framingham looking to regain that lead they just had.
If it goes for Brookline, it goes for Framingham. They got to make the free throws too.
Gonna Gray Moore misses both. This could come up big later in the game. Nice pass to Gray. Paige back with it. Looked as if she could go up with that ball and had an errant turnover. Framingham. Shot in the corner. No good. Goes after her own rebound. Romano had the ball. Good second effort, and she was trying to gain her balance and put the ball on the ground at the same time. Had a turnover. Unfortunately, makes it Brookline ball.
She does get points for the hustle, though,
yes.
Patrick.
Off Romano. The Warriors will have it just outside the net behind the goal. Number 31, Lindsay Westlake, will be inbounding the ball. Passes to her teammate. Number 32, Alicia Andrew. Andrew is just stuffed. Can't get anything going.
Good defensive play by Captain Kelly Romano over there. Forgot what I was going to say, Patrick. Excuse me.
It's no problem at all. Framingham still trying to break that zone from the outside, taking a lot of jump shots, and they haven't been nearly as successful as they were 3 or 4 minutes ago. Page pushing it. Nice drive to the goal, and 2 points.
That was a sweet finger roll.
Brookline going to the hole strong. And what looked to be strong defense right there will end up being a foul for number 11, Nora Fisher-Mueller. Just a freshman getting some big minutes out here on the floor today. Framingham inbounds the ball. Camille back in the game. Romano pass is intercepted by number 32, Alicia Andrew. Page back with the ball. Passes to her teammate Westlake. Shot up. Just off. And without Doty in the game, Framingham is having a lot of trouble breaking this press.
Both teams are really good when they're running the floor. They're not doing so well when they have to go to the half-court offense.
No, not at all. You can tell they're a little bit out of their comfort zone. Shot by Camille, just off. Page bringing it back up the floor. Shot. Foul called against number 10 of Framingham, Emily Rich, the sophomore.
Patrick, I must say, Brookline is doing a wonderful job rebounding the ball.
Did an amazing job getting up and down the floor very well.
Driving Coach King crazy, actually. She was just gesturing to her bench players about rebounding. You got to get up for it.
And now we are in the bonus, 1-1 for Raven Brockworth, the center, sophomore. And Brookline not backing off at all. Went after that rebound very hard, come up with a jump possession.
Once again, great hustle for the rebound.
Under a minute, shot taken and foul. And Framingham is just not really playing too smart right now, not really playing in their heads. They're obviously like a team that's on the road and not mentally all there just yet.
Well, do notice, though, that Leah Dowd is not on the floor right now. And when she was on the floor, things were going very differently.
Yes. And now number 12 for Brookline, Rose Rogers-Dreyfus, will have 2 more shots after this. I think there's a little bit of confusion as if whether or not there were.
Patrick, if my memory doesn't betray me, I thought it was a 3-point shot.
I thought it was too, and I thought that there was a foul called.
I guess
a shooting foul called. I didn't know it was on the floor, but I would say there's a little bit of dissension between the referees and Coach Tony, nonetheless. Framingham looking to work the ball. Shot, good. Made by number 11, Julia Salerno, the sophomore.
Once again, Patrick, just like we were talking about, they do have those star players. They have the players that can make the shots. The other players are going to stay open, and they can make shots too.
Yes, indeed. Page get another opportunity to go back to the line. Framingham has 10 fouls already in the game. They're in the double bonus, and this is just the first quarter. Shot rims out for Page.
That's a heartbreaker.
She's already been to the line a couple of times, and she's missed a couple of these. Hopefully she'll start to catch fire here soon, because I guarantee you Brookline's going to need these points later in the game. Second shot attempt for Page. No good as well. I think that makes her at least 0 for 4 on the day. Page just needs to start hitting those free throws if she wants Brookline to get this W. Less than 10 seconds left. Framingham trying to get a shot off. Fakes it. Shot before the buzzer. No good. Trying to come up with a rebound. No good.
Brookline's zone defense has been working really well here in the first quarter. If they want to win this game, they got to keep it up.
And after 1 quarter of play, both teams are tied 12-12. You know, I got to say, Lucas, I was looking for Framingham maybe to have a 4 or 5 point lead right here, but it's been nothing but tooth and nails right here till the end of the first quarter. What have you seen from both teams that they've done well?
Well, first of all, it's what we talked about in the beginning of the game. Framingham hasn't been making shots.
Right.
But also, I'm really impressed with Brookline's zone defense, as I just mentioned. It has been working. I think Coach Tony hid from us a little bit about her game plan.
Yes, sort of downplayed and whatnot. And I know that Coach King is a little frustrated with the defensive play of Framingham so far. They have a little bit more experience, a couple of different players who have been playing well as of late, and truly they haven't been holding up that strong, heralded man-to-man defense that Coach Tony was bragging on them about before the game. But we'll see if that can change in the second quarter.
Absolutely.
Obviously, for both teams, they're still, as I mentioned earlier, trying to get that vaunted first win in area play. So this is a big game. It means a lot to both teams. And if Brookline could get this win at home, it could mean a lot for their season. Don't know whether or not it will result in a trip to postseason play, but it can definitely give the players confidence moving forward as they build upon their skills.
Well, once again, Patrick, they are a very young team. It's not only about this season, it's about the one after that and the one after that. So getting a win here today may count for next season or even the one after that.
That's true. Every little bit of experience helps. Well, Framingham will start back with the basketball. Doty is back on the floor. So let's see if the Friars can start with a little bit more momentum. Pass right from the get-go from Doty to her teammate. Doty down on the boards, made a great effort to get the rebound, but could not come up with a shot.
Leah is just a floor general right now.
Two. They're going to count that as a 2 for number 12, Sophia Corbett, the senior. That was a long 2, unfortunately. Raven. Nice power play by Raven Bratworth. You know, you got to think, the girl's just a sophomore, tall as her. She can only get better from here.
That's very true. And in this game, she could be a big factor. She could mean a lot of trouble for Framingham down in the post.
Camille with the 2 right there on the pass from Doty. Now this is what Brookline does not want to happen. For this to become an up and down game where they are continually fighting to keep up with Framingham, because if that's what it comes to, I think Framingham might win that battle. Bratworth charged with the foul on that play.
She did not like the call.
Not at all.
Don't worry, young girl. You'll learn how to take those in the future.
She'll come back from that strong. Doty looks for her teammate. Shot up and good. That's 3. Framingham coming out strong here. Number 5, Tiana Souza, the senior, made that last play.
You know, Patrick, I have a feeling that Coach King told her players to shoot the ball, to be confident when shooting the ball in the second quarter.
Well, I did too, and I think that Coach King just told her players, hey, we still got a lot of game left. That wasn't our best in the first quarter. Come out, let's play our game, get them on their heels, and let's see how they react. And that's what's happening right now, and as you can tell, they have a 19-14 lead with just under 7 minutes to go in the second quarter.
If Framingham keeps their pace, and Framingham keeps playing their game, and especially if Leah keeps being the floor general that she's being right now and distributing the game and getting rebounds, I think things are going to go really, really well for this Framingham team.
Doty's come out very strong, the junior captain. You know, anytime her presence is on the floor, whether it's dribble, drive, pass, or she's pull up for the jumper or 3, she's definitely making an impact. And I think it's key that she stays on the floor. And you know, Coach King may have to keep her in some extended minutes, but as long as she's on the floor directing traffic and leading the team, I see good things for Friars for the rest of this game.
Well, her presence is so noticeable. Framingham's offense in the first quarter when she wasn't in was a little bit stagnant, and now it's so, they move so much.
Yes. Doty with the ball. The Flyers trying to break the press, and they have.
you got to take that shot.
You get the sense that the Warriors don't really know what to expect now out of Framingham. They feel like they had him in a corner. Maybe going to try to get them to play some more of their ball, slow down the pace, but Framingham seems to be kind of coming out of the gates right here strong in the second quarter.
Well, Brookline was having a lot of success with their zone defense. But with Leah now in the floor, she's able to find the holes in that zone defense much better than her teammates did in the first quarter.
Yes, indeed. And Tiana Souza comes away with 2 free throws made. That puts the score at 21-14 in favor of Framingham. Brookline trying to make something happen. And a travel called against number 20 of Brookline, Nia Cawthorne. Brookline are just all out of sorts right now. They don't really have a strong game plan they're executing on the floor, and they're really not able to get anything going at all.
They're trying to stick to the plan that worked in the first quarter. Run and play your high pressure and your zone defense.
Great shot and take to the hole by number 10, Emily Rich, the sophomore. Nice take. Now, if Brookline wants to see continued success like they had in the first quarter, they need some more of that right there. Just slow down the pace of Framingham, get to the free throw line.
I'm with you, Patrick. If I would love to see the numbers, how many free throws they took in the first quarter, but it must have been over 12 or 14. If they can get that many free throws throughout the game, they're going to be in good shape.
And Paige makes, I believe, her first free throw of the game. Hopefully she'll have many more of these to come.
That's the second point. They also got to make those free throws.
Paige trying to make it 2 for 2 on this trip. And she comes up short. And kind of a mental lapse right there by Westlake. She was already out of bounds, and it was going to be for Brookline, and she caught the ball. It kind of shows you Brookline doesn't really have it all together right now. Doty with the shot just off. Gamelli with the follow-up and the rebound and the follow-up.
Kelly Romano had some good moments in the first quarter, but also had some not so shiny moments. I think she's trying to redeem herself here in the second quarter.
Yes. Excuse me, I said Gamelli. I meant Romano on that last play. Foul called on number 31, Westlake. You know, Brookline looks like a completely different team in the second quarter. Really, it's just a matter of experience. And you can tell when you have a little trouble here sometimes that inexperience comes out.
I would like to see number 22 and number 23, Gray, dominate as they were in the first quarter. Somebody has to step up for this Brookline team, Patrick.
Framingham really taking advantage of their free throw opportunities. Emily Rich makes the first one. Just misses on the second one. But after that first make, it puts the score at 26-15 and gives the Framingham Flyers an 11-digit lead. Pass almost stolen by Leah Doty on that play. Gianna Gray to inbound the ball to her teammate.
Number 31, Lindsay Westlake, just left the game after two turnovers and almost turnovers, so she was having a tough second quarter. I'm sure that she'll come back to and bounce it off.
Cawthorne with the ball, goes up with it. Could not come away with 2 points right there.
Great job by sophomore Emily Rich, not letting number 33 get the easy bucket.
Well, Framingham just looks very much at ease on the offensive and defensive side of the floors. You got to think that they're just in total confidence of the game plan they came in and that Coach King was preaching to them. Pass. And almost made. Framingham couldn't come up with the rebound. Brookline will get the ball back. Rothwood almost come up with 2 points, just missed. Gianna Gray to inbound the pass. And miss.
Coach King just put Kirsten Hansen, the junior, on Brookline's Raven Brothile. Both of them are are a little bigger, a little taller. So it's going to be an interesting battle down low.
Nice block by number 32, Alicia Andrew, the junior forward. Brookline needs to see some more strong defensive play like that if they want to stay in this ball game. Doty with the 3, no good. Brothwaite just missed on that rebound, and all she has to do is take a step forward, and it's hers. Nonetheless, Brookline does get the ball, bring it up the floor. Is Brianna Page. Rothworth in the corner, looks for her teammate, Gianna Gray. Gray fakes, hits to the hole, gets fouled, and she'll have 2 free throws.
If Rihanna didn't practice free throws before, tonight she's doing just that.
Yeah, if Coach Alison Tony didn't give enough in practice, she's definitely getting here in the game tonight. Back to the line is Gianna Gray, looking to make her first free throw attempt. And she does.
Patrick. Practice makes perfect.
It does. And it seems as if I had a little delay right there. Nonetheless, Gianna Gray is going to get her second opportunity to shoot. Just miss. Nonetheless, it does shorten the lead to only 10 points. Leah Doty to bring up the ball up the floor, up the center of the floor.
Talked a lot about her shooting, but I'm also really impressed at her ball handling against Patrick.
If you notice, Brookline has shifted to a man-to-man defense.
Well, the shots have been falling. When the shots are falling, you can't rely on that zone defense too much.
No, not at all. Well, Framingham is doing a great job of breaking down that zone, and just as Coach King mentioned before the game, they're going to try to move in and out of it around the perimeter, and they did. So Coach Tony moved to man-to-man. At the line is Laura Gamelli. I've already said her name a couple times. Just a freshman. Hit 2 threes to really get Framingham back in the game and make sure Brookline didn't run away with this one. Just missed the second one. Nice hustle. Kirsten Hansen, the junior, gets the rebound off the missed free throw attempt, goes straight back up with it, giving Framingham a 29-16 lead.
Huge break from Hansen. She was put in for defensive reasons, but she's getting her money worth on offense too.
Well, you also can kind of tell that some players that may be defensive specialists are also contributing well on offense too.
Absolutely. Framingham does that very well. Their players, even though they might be called defensive specialists, they're really good on both ends of the floor. That's what makes a good team, Patrick.
It does indeed. Framingham gives it to Hansen. Hansen could not hold on to it, slipped right between her legs. Rihanna Page brings it up. Going strong to the hole. She'll get fouled.
The Warriors guards are just not afraid to go to the hole. I like it.
No, it's good. It's good. And when you have inexperienced post players who haven't developed, strong moves, then you need some stronger guard play. Page definitely has come up on the short end as far as free throws today. If she gets fouled one more time, I believe she'll be shooting her 9th and 10th after this one. But she's already been to the free throw line at least 4 times. I believe this is her 4th time. And she hits the second shot. Framingham still has a 12-point lead. Brookline comes out in the full court press. Leah Doty pushing the ball up the floor, behind the back.
Leah
Tries
has
a
played,
crossover in front of Paige. Rihanna does not allow that to happen. Gianna Gray fakes, shoveled her feet just a bit, and is called for the travel.
excuse me, Patrick, I was going to say before the turnover that Leah has played every minute this quarter so far, and we can see the big difference from the first quarter to the second quarter.
Well, we kind of talked about that if Framingham wants to keep a large lead and kind of pull away right here, I think Coach King knows that she needs to be on the floor, and she's willing to kind of give her some extra minutes.
Something tells me that she was out in the first quarter exactly so she could get that many minutes in the second quarter.
Right. Hansen took it strong to the hole, came up just short. Fans aren't too happy. It looked as if Doty got away with a little bit of push off on that inbounds play, but nonetheless, we have a stoppage in play, not really sure what is happening. Oh, Rothwaite is tying her shoe.
Brookline takes the time to adjust their defense.
Not sure what is happening. Referee heads over to the scorer's table. We have a little bit of delay in action. Folks will let you know what's going on as soon as we return to play. Guess they had to reset the shot clock. Take a couple seconds off. Put it at 22. Brookline pressing hard. And Brookline came out hard and really, really did well after that break right there. Let's see if they can get some momentum going.
Julia Salerno tried to do the smart play over there and shoot the ball when she felt that she was going to be fouled. Unfortunately, she did take 2 steps before taking the shot.
She did indeed. Gianna Gray with the pass to Westlake. In the corner, Brockwood has it. Works it over to the top of the key. Gray looks to shoot, cannot. But wait, nice spin move to the goal and goes up with a nice soft left touch.
The ceiling, excuse me, Patrick. The ceiling on Raven is high.
Very high, just a sophomore. Great move, spun back to her left and laid it up with the left hand. Brookline needs to see more plays like that if they want to stay in this ball game. Under 2 minutes left here at Schluntz Gym. Framingham has the lead, 29-19. Doty looking to inbound the ball. Just does. Hansen looks for the shot, puts it up, and it's good. Rattled around the rim. It looked as if it might pop out, but it hung in there, and that gives another 2 points to the Flyers.
Raven and Kirsten are having their own personal battle in this game. I like it.
It's good to see the girls take it to each other on both ends of the floor.
Ooh.
Paige took it strong to the hole once again. She's getting several opportunities at the free throw line, but hasn't really taken advantage of any of them just yet. Let's see if she can do that now, because Brookline sorely needs these to go their way.
Well, if they had made every single free throw in this game, the score would have been much different by now, Patrick.
They might even have the lead. Another miss by Brianna Page. Page trying to make amends with the second free throw. And she does. Framingham looking to inbound the ball. Approaching 1 minute left in the half. Doty with the ball, brings it up, passes to Hansen at the top of the key. Doty takes it, drives, didn't set her feet, and almost blocked her own shot right there.
Despite the miss, I gotta say I don't envy Paige tonight. She has the task of guarding number 24.
Rothwaite, nice catch off the block attempt by her teammate. She's made some strong plays. And just as we called her name for the basket, she'll also be charged with that foul. The Flyers will head to the line. Tiana Souza makes the first one. She makes the second one. It'll give them an 11-point lead with a little less, with just about 30 seconds left in the first half. Souza misses the second one. Westlake gets the rebound, passes to her teammate. Gianna Gray in the corner, has a shot up. No good. Rebounded by number 21 of Framingham, Laura Gamilli. We've already said her name a lot. Doty bringing it up to 4. Less than 15 seconds left. Goes to her left. Passes it up at the top of the key. Hanson gets the ball. Approaching. And that does it for the end of the first half. A couple shots there. It looked like Framingham might come away with a couple more baskets, but they couldn't just seem to notch one in. Nonetheless, they have a 10-point lead, and they'll go into halftime with a lot of confidence after that dismal first quarter performance.
Well, yes, but if I may say, if Brookline is able to play defense like they played in the last 30 seconds of the second quarter throughout the second half is going to be a lot different from the first half, from the first one.
Yeah, you get the sense if, Brookline comes back out and they really attack the basket like they did in that first quarter. What you could see, Framingham was just unprepared and weren't ready for that kind of attack. It could be a different ball game, but if it stays like it did in the second quarter, then it'll be a lot of the same. Well, we're going to take a short break, folks. We'll be back in a couple minutes to bring you the rest of the game. I'm Patrick Thomas. This is Lucas Parolin. Stay tuned. And we're back live to bring you the second half. Brookline starts the ball off. They'll change ends for this third quarter. Brookline's going to look to get off to a fast start, kind of like they did at the beginning of the game in the first quarter. Gianna Gray puts the ball up first. Does not come away with any points. Lucas, after that first half, it looks as if Framingham has a decisive advantage. What are some things that Framingham did well in that first half?
Well, with Lee on the floor, they're a really good distributing team on the half-court offense, as they're distributing the ball really well right now, moving really well. But they're also really good on ball pressure. Leah gets so much attention offensively that we don't look at her defensively so much. She did get 2 steals in the first half, Patrick.
She did indeed. Nice take to the hole by Emily Rich. Rothwaite right there for the rebound and the putback. We've already said her name a couple of times. I think sophomore has played well so far today. Doty trips, made a nice spin move. It actually just tripped over her own feet. It's going to be a jump ball. And I believe it's going to be Brookline basketball. These are the sort of swings Brookline needs if they want to stay in this ball game.
They also need to go to Raven more often. Raven has 8 points now in the game, and right now she definitely has a side advantage on her opponent.
She most certainly does. Gray with her second shot attempt of the half comes up short once more. Doty brings the ball up the floor, looks for her teammate at the right top of the key, and a bank for number 10, Emily Rich. Rich with the first 2 goals of the game for Framingham. That gives her 5 points in the second half alone.
That's her 4th shot in the game, Patrick.
Brianna Page kicks it over to Brothwaite. Brothwaite Kicks it back to the top of the key. Gray looking to make a move. Cannot. Foul is called. We'll see if it's shooting. 2 shots. She'll get her chance to go back to the line. She's done well so far at the charity stripe. We've touched on this once already, but if Brookline ever wants to climb back in this game, this is where they can make their money.
Absolutely, Patrick. And I was looking at some stats during halftime, and I want to touch on Rihanna Page. She's not the one on the line right now. It seems that it's either her or number 23 that are on the line the whole time. But Rihanna only shot 5 for 11 in the first half.
Yeah,
It's not exactly what you're looking for.
No, not at all. She had several opportunities to put the ball in the hole and just came up short. Gray makes both free throws. That puts the score at 37-26. Leah Doty pushing the ball up the floor. Crosses over, heads back to her left, and gets fouled. That'll be on the floor. Doty inbounds the ball. Back in the corner. And it looks as if Doty was called for a push-off right there, I believe. I'm not quite sure. She got away with one early, and I think she's done that a couple times in the game, and I think the ref finally called her on it. Nonetheless, Brookline gets it. Gray. Page at the top of the key. Bratworth looking to make something happen. Gray gets it. Airballs it. And that is not only the 3rd missed shot, but she has shot 3 balls that haven't even touched the rim in this half.
If Framingham keeps playing zone defense like that and just, not zone defense, man-to-man defense like that and just can't let them penetrate, Brookline's going to have a hard time because they're not having that much luck shooting the ball tonight.
Nice take, strong take by Leah Doty. Came up short.
I've been giving Leah a lot of praise tonight. I'm going to give her first constructive criticism, Patrick. She does tend to use that right hand a lot.
Yeah, she does. No, I didn't mean to cut you off, but there's an opportunity she could use the left. And just as we say that, she could take a note from Gianna Gray.
Always room for improvement, Patrick.
Yes, indeed. Nice pick by her teammate. Strong drive by Leah Doty to go underneath the hoop and shoot a reverse layup. Came up short, but she got 2 free throw attempts out of it.
It's the first time she takes the reverse layup. Normally she prefers to go around the basket and find an open teammate. Way to not be too stagnant on offense.
Yeah, I mean, she's done a good job of dribble, drive, dish. This time, she takes a shot for herself.
Bro, you gotta stay active. You can't be too predictable.
That's one thing Leah Doty has not been. Less than 5 minutes in the 3rd quarter. Framingham has a 39-28 lead. Brookline trying to get the momentum to swing in their favor. Rothway in the corner. Dribbled off the foot of number 11, Nora Fish-Mueller. Gray trying to make a move here. Mueller shoots it from the top of the key. Just runs out on the 3. Almost had a lucky bank go her way, but could not get it done.
I believe that would have been their first 3-pointer of the night.
Nice. And Leah goes from end to end right there. She went hard to her left, spun, went back to the left, and then laid it up. That's the kind of play you need from a captain if you want to get a W.
It's the kind of play I've been expecting from Leah all along.
Gray, nice take to the hoop, gets the foul. And although Brookline's on the losing end of this one, she's made some strong plays like that on the offensive end.
Absolutely. I like the way this kid plays. I touched on it in the beginning of the 1st quarter that she doesn't back away from a challenge. And I mean, she's been pounded and pounded on the low post, and still she's not afraid to go in, get fouled, and try to get those 3-pointers.
No.
I mean, those free throws.
Right. No, I mean, and you know, this is primarily a team made up of sophomores and juniors. There's only been really one senior that's gotten major playing time. And so, like Coach Tony said, they're trying to find an identity. And, you know, when you have a bunch of young players that haven't necessarily settled into the offense at this point in the year, it can be a little rough. But, hopefully they can begin to find more and more of an identity as this game goes on, as the season goes on.
Coach Tony also said that she was looking for a go-to player. She may have found her in Gianna Gray.
That very well could be true. After the timeout break, Gianna will come back to the free throw line. She'll have 2 attempts. Looking to cut the lead to 11 points. Wouldn't be surprised right here if Coach Tony has the Warriors come out in a full court press after that timeout.
You must have played 1 or 2 basketball games before, Patrick.
Maybe so. Maybe once or twice. Gray hits the first. She's been practically automatic from the charity stripe today. She'll try to make it 2 for 2 here. And just rims out. Rebounded by Rich.
Leah's not bringing the ball up the floor this time.
She did not. Her teammate, number 12, Sophia Corbett, the senior that Coach King praised earlier before the game did. Brought it up, took it up the left side, and laid it up with a soft left hand. Nice take by number 22, Brianna Page. Brookline needs to see a little more of that if they want to stay in this ball game. Framingham still trying to break that press, and I guess they're right. Brookline did try to come up and put pressure on. And Brookline comes up with it. Page up the floor. She's going to try it. And she'll be called for the charge.
That must have hurt, Patrick.
Gamilli had the position. Lucas, I like the effort and the intensity by Page, but she has to realize that once the man has position, those calls really aren't going to go in her favor.
Well, especially, no disrespect on Page's game, but she isn't the toughest or the strongest kid out there. It's gonna hurt when that happens,
right?
And it's not gonna go her way most of the times.
Well, situations like that, when you get a big steal and you come back to the offensive end, you got to take advantage of it, and you can't give Framingham opportunities to keep building on that lead. And so far, that's what's happened a lot of this game, and specifically here at the end of the third quarter.
Well, for Paige, sometimes you steal the ball, the court's wide open, you just see that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, the shiny basket over there. Back in my playing days, I definitely did those mistakes at least once a quarter. That's why I think that's why Coach didn't let me play so much.
Well, as a guard, you got to think that anytime you get a big steal like that, it's just your natural inclination to try to go end to end when you're trying to climb back in a game. But just not a smart play on her behalf.
I also think that Coach Tony probably has a lot to do with it, not putting the blame on her or anything.
No.
But I do think that Coach Tony did tell her guards to attack the basket. So that's what she has on her mind right now.
She did.
Attack the basket. There it is. I'm going to go for it.
Push off. Called again, I believe, on Leah Doty. That's her second offensive foul.
That could be troublesome for Framingham if Leah has to step out due to foul trouble.
It might make a difference in the game. Brothwaite comes up with it, comes back to her right, and she's called for the travel. Wasn't quite a jump stop. Couldn't give her credit for that. And she just
took the little step before. She just hesitated before shooting.
Just too much. Framingham trying to break this press. Sophia Corbett comes up, moves it back to the center of the court, passes to her teammate, Mackenzie Gamilli. Corbett has a wide open, it looks to be a 3, but it's going to be a long 2. Unfortunately, she stepped on the line. But nonetheless, it adds to the Flyers' lead. They now go ahead 45-31. Gray with a shot. She has not done well from long distance in the second half.
Brookline hasn't done well from long distance in this entire game, Patrick.
And you got to wonder now if something doesn't happen soon, if Framingham won't just want to run away with this game.
I'm starting to see that way, Patrick.
Shot put up by Brianna Page. Brothwaite had the ball. Looked like it could be a jump ball, but instead they're going to call a foul.
A quick note on the three-pointer, Patrick. It seems to be that Brookline is noticing the same thing that we're noticing, that this game could run away from them sooner rather than later. So they're trying to get those three-pointers to cut away the lead fast.
They get the ball, inbound it. Nice attempt by Brianna Page, comes up short, putting on the pressure. Almost comes up with the steal. Instead, Framingham breaks the press. Leah Doty takes it back up to the top of the key. Corbett fakes inside. Gives it back to Doty. Doty goes hard left. Tries to find room. Hanson. We talked about her earlier. Gets her first 2 points of the second half. Her and Brothwaite went head-to-head in the second quarter. She gets back on the board.
That is a key matchup of this game. Raven and and Gimli.
Nice take inside, just missed. Brianna Page gets the ball, the right wing. Gray takes it hard. Misses, but she'll head back to the free throw line with less than a minute to play.
That is just textbook stuff. Go in, go hard, draw the foul, try to get the end one. If not, you get your charity stripes.
Couldn't agree more. And she was just completely off on that one. The frustration is starting to set in, and these girls know that they're behind in the game, and they're just trying not to let it get out of hand now. Ray misses both attempts. Framingham with a commanding 16-point lead at the end of the third quarter. They've made a couple of different substitutions, and so has Brookline. In the game for Framingham is number 14. And now they get right back to Brookline.
That was just a nil attempted pass.
Sarah Newcomb comes into the game for Framingham, and for the Warriors, Rebecca Sigorski, the junior forward. And number 20, Nia Cawthorne, busts it right in the left wing to cut the lead.
It happened, Patrick. They made a three-pointer.
They did. Big shot. Leah Doty takes it up. She's going to try to slow it down. No need to rush a shot. Corbett passes to Leah Doty. Nice shot by Doty. Doty falls her own rebound. Just off on the miss.
Despite the miss, what a privilege for Framingham to have two guards like Sophia and Leah playing side by side.
Brookline trying to get a shot off. Cawthorne with her second shot attempt. Came up short. And just missed on the big heave from Mackenzie Gamilli. Well, after 3 quarters of play, the Flyers have a 47-34 lead after the home team, Brookline Warriors. And if you're Coach King, what do you have to really tell your players? Just keep playing our game and walk away with this. And if Coach Tony, you got to, what can you say in that huddle? What do you think is going through her head right now?
Well, Coach Tony is saying one of two things right now. They're either going to keep pounding the ball down low, try to get fouls, and try to stop the shot clock so they can get the 2 easy buckets, or the 2 easy points, or they're going to start shooting from outside. Maybe we'll see a lot more of Nia Cawthorne, who made that three-pointer earlier. It's one of those two things. You're down 13 points. That's a large lead. You only have 8 minutes to go. You got to go for all or nothing.
Well, you got to think they're either going to continue shooting threes or start attacking the basket, because if they continue to miss these threes, that's not really going to help. And one thing they run into when shooting these long jump shots and these three-pointers is long rebounds that have gone in favor, mostly because of good effort on Framingham's part and the lack of boxing out by the Warriors.
Framingham also has, they're not necessarily taller. The Framingham is not necessarily taller than Brookline, but they do have, I don't want to say larger bodies. I just want to, they're better at boxing out, as you just said, and they're a little bit tougher. I don't know if tougher is the right word here, but it's the one I'm going for.
Well, it's almost like they've been there before. They've been through the fire. They've had the trials and experiences, and you can kind of tell they're a little more tested team than Brookline is.
Well, they're also 1 or 2 years older than most of these players.
They already did. Nice dish from Doty to find her teammate. She follows her own shot.
Well, see, this is what I just talked about. Emily was able to get around Raven rather easily that time, and Raven is taller than Emily.
I'm just going to assume that Coach Tony is telling these girls to continue shooting these long jump shots, because Gianna Gray has not hit one in this half, and she is still shooting from all over the offensive end.
That was a good cut. She
nice.
She might have took it.
Nice give and go. And Doty gets it back. Lucas, that was a little nice give and go just at the top of the right free throw line right there.
They're all really good ball handlers. They all know where each other are, and they all move the ball really well.
Shot miss.
When you have all three things, like all those three kinds of players on the court, you're gonna see nice give and goes like that all the time, and we have, Patrick, we have.
Brookline seems content to stay in this man-to-man zone. Excuse me, man-to-man. It's not a zone of anything. Looks for her teammate up the floor. Gray comes up with it, misses. Cannot get it done. And those are the kind of shots you have to make. Mueller couldn't make that. And if you want to get back in a ball game, you have to hit those shots. Framingham approaching 6 minutes with a 15-point lead.
Framingham is doing exactly what it should do. They're not running too much. They are slowing down the tempo. They know they have the lead. They're eating away the shot clock. I really can't see this game slipping away from them right now, Patrick.
No, they have a strong lead here. Unless something drastic happens within the next 2 minutes, they could go away with the W right here.
Coach King is also relying on her 2 point guards, Sophia and Leah. 2 really good ball handlers, and it's like playing with 2 quarterbacks, Patrick.
It is. It gives a lot of strength and confidence to your team and the morale of your team, especially down the stretch of a game.
It's also really tough for Brookline because who do you guard? Which one are you going to put the ball pressure on? If you do it on Leah, Sophia is just going to run away and get the score, and vice versa.
Gianna Gray takes it to the hole strong, gets a putback and misses that. Cannot come up with it. Brothwaite try to get the rebound. Doty brings it up the floor, finds her teammate, and a basket counts. Kelly Romano, the captain, senior, we've called her names a couple of times today. Nice dish and nice jump shot to extend the lead to 17 points. And now you can kind of tell that Brookline is just kind of just losing it all together.
Well, yeah, I like how a lot of, and when I say a lot of the players, I do mean all of them. They're not giving up. They're still going hard to the hole. They're still playing the way Coach Tony told them to. But you do get the sense that by now, maybe there's not much hope in this game.
Nice pass, inbounds from Doty to Corbett, comes up short. Corbett broke away from the top of the free throw line down to the low block. It looks like she's going to come up with 2 easy points, but just missed off the attempted bank shot.
You know, Patrick, I'm going to give a shout out to this girl, Gianna Gray. Her team has been down for most of the game. She's played almost every minute of this game. She must be so tired right now, and she just doesn't quit. She keeps taking it hard to the hole. She plays hard defense. Again, big praise for this girl. I see a bright next year for her. She's a junior right now.
Well, you can certainly tell, although. And shot missed by Doty. You can certainly tell that Coach Tony wants to see some production out of Rihanna Page and Gianna Gray, especially as the season goes on. Corbett with the 3, and nothing but net. That gives Framingham a 20-point lead with just about 4.5 minutes to go in the ball game.
At this point in the game, Coach Tony looks at her players and says, forget about the scoreboard. Let's play our game. Let's use this as rebuilding and as preparation for the next game.
Well, you can really tell your team now is just this is where we see if it's a gut check time, whether or not you're going to lay down or you're going to stay in the ball game, who's going to give effort. If we put the tape on in the locker room in a couple of days from now, who are the people that played hard the whole game? And, you know, it's like she told us before the game, they're a young team, and honestly, things like this happen when you don't execute. And one thing that we grilled on earlier, the free throws. They've missed, I would imagine, double-digit free throws. That would at least cut this lead in 10 points, if not more.
Well, that's half right there.
Yeah. So that takes it from 54-34 to 54-44.
54-44 is a much, clearly.
If not more.
Well, clearly, I'm just going to be Mr. Logic over here, but 54-44 is a much more manageable lead with 4.5 minutes left than a 20-point lead.
And at home, you still have a great shot. Gianna Gray calls for the ball, pushes hard to her right. Cannot come up with 2 points, just throws up a shot.
She hasn't been getting as many calls as she did earlier in this half and in all of the first half.
Well, Framingham looks as if they've moved their feet a little better this half. Nice pass from Hansen. Shot blocked by number 32, Alicia Andrew.
Despite that block, that ball movement was beautiful. Best we've seen all game.
It really was. Shot missed. And it appears that Brookline really doesn't have a strong offensive strategy right now. They're just doing whatever they can to get back in the ball game and coming up with a lot of three-point attempts that are falling short. Framingham has no reason to shoot the ball, working the clock, puts up a shot, misses. Gianna Gray is going to come up the floor, passes back to center court. Rihanna Page goes to her left and dishes to the wing, has it back at the top of the key, passes to the right. Shot taken and missed by number 32, Alicia Andrew. Doty has the ball, pushes it back up in the middle of the court.
With no score, with no basket in over a minute and a half of this game, I'm really ready to just settle down and say this game is probably Framingham's.
It is. Framingham still working the ball well around the offensive end, even though they clearly have this game in hand.
Interesting to see that Coach King hasn't sat down her stars, Sophia and Leah.
No, she hasn't. She has not. And I believe she may be coming out of the ball game.
I think she heard me.
Maybe so. Or maybe it's her and Sophia Corbett, the two players that she really talked about before the game. I'm not sure if it's her.
I don't think Leah knows whether she's coming out or not.
Nobody does. But you sort of can see a lot of promise in number 23, Gianna Gray. And as the season goes on, she will continue to only get better and better.
Well, looking at positives from, if you're going to look at positives from tonight's game at the Brookline side, Gianna Gray has to be the top of the list.
Right.
Great heart, great competitor, not afraid to go to the hoop. Good free throw shooter, which is always great. and good leader. Well, sometimes a leader has to speak through her actions.
Mm-hmm. And she makes both free throw attempts. She'll come out of the game. Even if she did play the rest of the ball game, I'm not sure if her efforts alone could bring the team back. Souza pushes the ball, goes around the defender. Great play.
How come we haven't said her name enough in this broadcast?
Well, we've said a couple times she's made it to the free throw line, but you know, we've said a lot of players' names from Framingham. Shot attempt by number 41 of Brookline, Pima Dama, the only only two seniors on this roster. And the Flyers are really just going to run the clock down. Minute 45 left in the game, 12 seconds left on the shot clock. They're not looking to make any serious points. And then a shot comes from Doty. Just missed on the three.
Dowdy is just always wired on to the game. She knows what everything that is going on the court.
She certainly does, Lucas. You might could say she's a bit of a floor general.
I think I have said that.
I think you have indeed. Flyers doing a good job of milking the clock. They have an 18-point lead.
Since we were repeating ourselves just earlier, I also mentioned how what a big privilege for Framingham it is to have so many ball handlers. And right now they have Leah, they have Tiana Souza, and they have also number 11, Julia Salerno. So that's 3 good ball handlers on the floor.
That makes it easier for a coach when you can rotate people in and out that have experience bring the ball up the floor, and you know, doesn't put so much stress on the same players to not come out of the game or not get any rest. And as the season goes on, that'll help Framingham.
This is also perfect for the kind of game they're in right now. They do have the large lead. They do have to milk the clock as they have. So it's exactly what we've been seeing. They run around each other and just trade passes until the 15-second mark in the shot clock.
The younger sister of Mackenzie Gamilli, Lauren Gamilli, attempted both shots, came up short on both. Nia Cawthorn has it in the right wing. Pima Duma passes to her teammate. Number 10, Rebecca Zagorski. Zagorski tried to hit Nia Cawthorn back. Rose Rogers-Drofus takes a shot just to the right of the top of the key. And this hasn't been Brookline's day when it comes to jump shots and the long threes. Framingham is certainly just going to try to burn this clock with only 20 seconds left in the ball game. 13 on the shot clock. They'll wind it down to possibly 2 or 3 seconds. Well, you would think they would.
Well, technically, the shot clock didn't stop because Leah didn't hit the board.
There you go.
Maybe it was all planned out, Patrick.
10 seconds left in the game. Brookline and try to get one basket in. Nia Cawthorn looking to make something happen. She'll shoot. No good. And that'll wrap this ball game up. Framingham comes away with a win in area play. Their first one on the season. That'll put them at 4-5 and 1-3 in the area. This pushes the Warriors to 0-8, and in league play puts them 0-5.
Well, Patrick, these 15 and 16-year-old girls are going to be frustrated at the loss, at the hard season they're having, but they really should keep their heads up. They're good fighters, good competitors. They do have some talent on this team. They just need to learn how to translate that on the court.
No, and they most certainly will. And I'm sure as the season goes on, they'll continue to build a stronger team. Well, folks, that wraps up the end of the ball game. Glad you tuned in with us, and tune in next time.
It was a pleasure, Patrick.
Well, that wraps up another edition of Brookline Access Television High School Sports. Lucas, Framingham Friars came away with a W today. From the start, it looked like it might be all Brookline, but after about midway through the first quarter, they found an identity and really got back into it. And once they hit their stride in the second quarter, it was just all Framingham from there.
Well, yes, Brookline had a lot of success with their high pressure and with the zone defense in the beginning. But once, as we were saying in the broadcast, once Framingham was able to make those shots, and once Leah started distributing the passes, and Sophia got in it too and started distributing passes, and I think Kelly made a couple of three-pointers, they just ran away with the victory.
They certainly did. And as mentioned before the broadcast, we talked about Kelly Doty and Sophia Corbett just really stepping up big and playing big for the Flyers today, and they certainly did that, and that was a big momentum change for them throughout the game. And you got to think that moving forward, Coach D. King will be looking for them to do that as the season progresses.
Well, we certainly saw that Leah and Sophia and the other captains on the team, they understand the game really well. I think at one point we mentioned how it is amazing that they understand everything that's going on in the court. They're aware of everything that's going on in the court, and that's really important for a player. I think D. King will look for them to lead this team onwards to victory. As you mentioned, it was their first area victory of the season. I'm sure they're going to be looking for much more, and I'm sure that Leah and the crew will be leading them onto that.
And if you're Coach Tony, all you can really tell your players, as unexperienced as they are, and with only 2 seniors on the roster, keep at it, keep working hard, and continue to build experience for this season and for others to come.
Well, we did see some good stuff from them. It wasn't all negative. Gray played really well, got to the line a lot. Also, Paige played really well. Besides her free throw shooting woes, it's good to see the young team fighting hard, not quitting, and just trying to come away with the win against a hard team.
That's right. Well, folks, that's going to do it for us here at Schluntz Gym at Brookline High School. I'm Patrick Thomas, joined by Lucas Parolin. Tune in next time for another edition of Brookline Access High School Sports.